If you're a singlet, come closer. Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My precious YouTube channel. This is my man. Miss, my husband. So I decided to bring a special guest of honor. So basically, this is my husband. I love him so much. And we've been married for 6 years. 6 years, how many months did you say that time?
6 years going to 7, so it's just about 6 years and 2 months.
Wow. 6 years and 2 months. Like, that's a genuine wow. I can't believe it. So we've been married for 6 years and 2 months. And I didn't tell him what the topic of this video is about. So he's just coming to speak by the inspiration of the Spirit. Like, we are believers, we are born again Christians. And this video is especially for my singles. If you're a singlet, come closer. Okay, so I'll be asking you really random question in a believer's context, right? We're not talking about people who don't know Christ. They are not involved in this matter.
Okay.
Like, this is not for the world. This is like believer's context.
Okay.
So this first scenario is that, number one, we're in a church setting.
Yeah.
Possibly we are workers thereabouts.
Yeah.
And I really like a sister in the church. I'm a guy.
Okay.
As a brother, yes.
Okay.
I like a sister in the church.
Yeah.
And then I've not prayed about it. I just like the sister. Like,
okay.
I'm feeling the vibe. Anytime I see the sister, I have to do bing bing bing. The brothers are doing.
Of course, now
You have to. Because you have to keep.
Your tummy begin to flip like a roller coaster.
You used to have flipping tummy. This year have flipping tummy.
It comes once in a while. When I eat good food now.
Wait, so I don't need to make your tummy flip.
Now it happens with good food.
We'll talk about it later. It's okay. I'll not be angry. So, as I was saying, I'm a brother. I like the sister.
Okay.
So usually in the believer's context, when you like a sister, right? So, and you want to pray about it. You've not even prayed about it. You've not seen. You've not told anybody about it. You just really like the sister. Like, naturally speaking, what should you do as a brother? Should you first, should you pray about it first? Should you submit it to elders, like they used to say, submit it to leaders in church? Should you go ahead and approach the sister? What should you do? What is the first move? Let's talk about first move as a brother.
Okay.
A singlet brother.
That's a good question. I think if as a brother in the church, as a worker, you admire a sister in the church and you I think the very first thing is to be friends with the sister.
Platonic relationship.
Yeah, just casual friends. Like, first of all, be friends with the sister and try to know more a little bit like about her.
That's before you pray.
Of course. I mean, why that is going, you can be praying alongside, but I think the very first thing is just to approach the sister, because you could be admiring a sister who already has somebody.
Gege.
And then, because you've not had that kind of discussion with her, it's pretty difficult for you to know. And then if it's not revealed to you, of course, by the Spirit, you also would not know. So it would be wrong for you to start praying about the sister who God has given.
A sister that's already engaged.
Yeah, who God has given somebody, or who is already building with somebody else. So I mean, I wouldn't want to say that effort in futility, but it's like you're just praying, and at such instances, by God's mercy, He could tell you that, brother, this is a no-go area.
Change your ways.
But in some cases, even if you're not discerning enough or quite sensitive, you can keep praying and thinking that God is not answering you or not hearing you.
So the first move is that.
So the very first move is just to approach the sister, and then.
How do you be that? What kind of relationship are you talking? Like friendship? Do you want to
of course.
Be the person's friend? How do you not let your emotions get entangled? You know what I mean?
Well, that's also a very good one. I think first of all, you need to understand that it's a church, so you are not enemies. And you're not just meeting her randomly on the street and saying, oh, and she start giving you attitude. So being a church sister that she is, and with the love of Christ that she has on the inside, she shouldn't snub you or shun you.
Yeah.
She should give you attention or give you audience.
Yeah.
Give you the opportunity to express yourself. And whatever it is the situation is with her, she tells you, like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm actually, I'm engaged with someone, or this and this is happening already with me at this point, or at this point I'm just I don't want to have anything to do with this. I'm working on a journey with God for now. In a couple of years I could be ready for it, but for now, people have different reasons for staying single or staying the way they are.
Yeah.
They could look marriageable, but they actually have things they're trying to achieve in their life. So yeah, it also boils down to the part of, should you pray? No, I don't think prayer might be the very first thing to do, because if somebody who is not ready and you're praying about it, it's just like, that kind of thing. So I think the very first thing is to approach
babe, I have one question about building the relationship, because Christian guys, they'll be like, oh, I'm getting to know a girl.
Yeah.
They just say, hello sister, Funky baby. How are you? Have you eaten? Did you sleep? Like, how should you build that kind of friendship? Like, there's a saying that most Christian girls like bad boys because of how they put them on trips. Like, you used to say, put me on trips. Like, how should you, what is the Christian way? Maybe I'm serious, to put a girl on, like a lady you want to, like, you like, or a lady you are praying about, or you are building friendship with, you like, make them know that, okay, I'm in your space, I want something to do with you, like, before you actually voice out your intention while praying.
I think one key thing is,
without sending wrong signals.
Absolutely, you've asked a very good question. I think the very first thing is to be genuine to yourself and to be as natural as possible. So don't fake whatever it is you want to do. Don't try to make attempts to earn her in a certain way, or try to gain her confidence.
Let things very expensive restaurant.
Yeah, let things flow naturally from you. And it spans from just being caring, how are you doing today, hope you're good, and things like that. And then alongside, if it's somebody you genuinely really like, you can start chipping in some very nice things like, I hope you smiled today.
Come on now.
Your day was good. Was there anything special that happened in the day you would like to share with a brother who is just interested in knowing how your day went?
You know what I mean?
Those kind of things are harmless. And they are just showing that, you are being thoughtful and you just, really want to know much about the person. Like people used to say, like, I'm fine does not really mean I'm fine. So I could ask you how you doing and say I'm fine.
You might be going through stuff that you can even agree and pray together. You have earned badge of honor.
Of course.
Prayer,
so I mean, if somebody just says I'm fine and you take that as a response, and then you move on, or you just think the conversation should end, you might be missing a very great deal of what the conversation could have turned out to be. So it's good to just, did something make you smile today? How did your day go? Did somebody upset you? Hope everything was great and all of that. What special thing happened today? Just try to get a little bit more and let them begin to get more comfortable sharing things with you. If you take it, you keep taking it step further and you realize, and these are things that necessarily does not have emotional attachment.
Yeah, it's just platonic things.
As a brother also, you have to be able to guard your heart and ensure that you are not allowing your emotions mess you up at that point. So
after you try to build friendship, the obvious thing is okay, maybe you pray and then God says, okay, this is not the person. Like, do you then withdraw from the relationship, the friendship? Because I believe personally by myself, like, no friendship is a waste. There are people that they approached me, I never said yes to them, but we're like good friends, like we pray together and all of that. So that would be like something also that can come out of that relationship. It doesn't necessarily, okay, if God says this is not the person or whatever, you have built a friendship, you have gained a sister or whatever. So the next step, Christian, after you have approach, what should you do next?
Okay, you mean still in the light of you wanting to pray afterwards?
After you have prayed, and God says yes. What's the next?
And God says yes about it. I think I would say before you approach the sister to put so much pressure on her and saying this is what God is saying.
You are my wife.
I think the next thing is to speak to your pastor or somebody you both submit to in the church or as an authority in the church and say, this is actually where I am right now. I've prayed about it and this is what God is saying concerning this sister. And I think by the help of the Spirit, the pastor or the leader, as it were, or the person in authority can then take it up from there. It could give you directions or, okay, go ahead and approach the sister or let me talk to her first and ask her how things are going first and things like that. And, they can mend or bridge that part. But make sure you actually heard God. Yeah, make sure.
We'll do another video on hearing God. But you know that most brothers, they used to do the other way around. They'll say that, I've seen Sister Joke. Sister Joke is everything. They will not go and pray. God! They will go and be praying whether it's Sister Joke or not. They won't even bother to. Some of them cannot even say hello, sister Joke. They don't have a relationship, a friendship with the sister, or they just want to go and meet the sister to say that God says you're my wife. And are you in a relationship? I think that it's just weird. You just want to be in my space and just talk about marriage. Do you know what marriage is? Like, I don't even know you. I don't understand. Like, it's just really weird. Yeah. Do you want that to before I move to the next? This one is very important to my soul.
Yeah, I think like we just said, I mean, the best thing is to build friendship first. If you prayed about it and God says yes, be sure. Of course, for you to be double sure your emotions is not really getting in the way. When you also speak to your pastor, he can pray alongside with you, and he can see more clearly because he doesn't really have
any emotional investment in
that relationship. Even though it will be his joy that a brother and a sister comes together and then they build a family from the church. The church is growing in that sense, but he is not emotionally attached. He really has no bias at that point. He really has nothing to hoard from you guys. So he's ready to just give it to you as plain. Like, okay, let me pray about it also. Just give me some couple of days, or let me just talk to God, and he could probably let you know that this is the situation, or this is the disposition of God.
Now this one is I put it at the last because it's hot.
Okay.
Now as a sister, this is a sister's point of view. You like a brother.
Okay.
The brother is handsome like my brother. Fine boy. You like a sister in the church, a brother in the church rather.
Yeah.
And then this brother is obviously single, obviously searching.
Okay.
And there's two scenarios. One, you have not prayed about it. You just really like the brother. Like, you really fear short or coming. Kind of vibe. Like, you like the brother.
Okay.
So, should Christian sisters be shooting their shots? One. But if you have to shoot your shot, how should you shoot your shots? Okay. You've not prayed about the brother.
Okay.
You just like the brother. Should you shoot your shot? If you can shoot your shot, how should you shoot your shot?
Okay. I think in the Christian context or in the church context, I wouldn't want to use the word shoot your shot. Because it sounds too generic and sometimes could be termed as something worldly. I would probably say ladies' moves.
Ladies' moves.
So, there is something that you can do as a lady, and it's called like a ladies' moves. And then, how do you do that? For instance, you get to know the brother strategically, and it could be after a service and say, sorry, in case you don't even know his name. I think the very first thing is just to meet him and say, how was service today? How did you enjoy the service?
Just try to be.
How was the ministration today? It really blessed me. I mean, the song ministration really, really went deep. The lyrics were on point. Which part of the service, really got to you and things like that. Just, on a casual level, as a lady, there is no harm in doing that.
Yeah.
It's a church, and I don't want to think a brother would put that on his head and then go and start, flaunting it or telling his friends like, man, she's really into me and things like that. It will be quite immature for a brother to do that. In fact, if you know that the brother is doing that, it's already a red flag for you.
Yeah.
That you spoke with this brother in a very casual way, and then he turned around to start, making a big deal out of it. So I think for a lady in a church, our service today, what blessed you, the message was really deep. I really love when pastor said this, or when pastor said that, or when pastor used the scripture, and I never saw it in that light.
Come on now.
You talk about something like that, and then it's
his brother's friend.
Yeah, and then from there, it's just a one-off thing. You can meet another Sunday. He will even be able to approach you and say, at this point, you might not be too forward to want to start contact.
Don't suffer in silence.
So. I mean, then of course, like you already established that the brother is very single.
Yeah.
But I think even if you don't have all the details about him in terms of his maybe his status at that point, getting to know him is just okay. And then as discussion progress in that sense, you can begin to get to know more about him. What's your profession? What do you do? What are you studying? If he's a student, for instance. How is the program going?
Come on.
What's special about it? If somebody like me would like to do such a program,
you as a guy, if a lady is doing that to you, like traditionally speaking, that's weird for a lady to be in a space like that.
No.
I
don't think you will overload everything like that. I think now probably this is what I'm going to chip in for a sister. Like, it's not something you do consecutively and with so much pressure. They are just things you just bring in like you approach him after service, you already said something to him. He'll probably go home and start thinking, wow, this is we've never spoken before, but I really love what she said.
Yeah.
You might not even be the one to speak to him or speak with him in the following Sunday. He might actually be the one to approach you.
Yeah. That's
because you've done, because you've done something already. That yes. So you've been able to to tenderize the atmosphere. Let me use that word.
What do
you think? Yeah. So something like that.
Okay.
Basically.
So now the second aspect of it is that you have prayed
As a sister, right?
Yeah, and you know that this brother is my brother.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one. He's my bone.
Mm-hmm.
My bone. I don't know why I did that. But anyway, what should you do?
I think it still goes back to the same pattern we established.
Tell the leader,
yes, for the brother also, like you speak to your pastor. If you have somebody like in the women's leadership or something like that
you can trust.
Yes, or somebody that has been leading the affairs of women in the church. Yes, if you feel comfortable, you can share such a situation with her. If it's somebody that you have a relationship with, if not, you can take it to the pastor and say, well, pastor, this is exactly
when I see brothers,
this is exactly how I feel.
My heart is doing like this.
So you can just talk to your pastor, yes, and they let him know what it is and all of that.
Okay, but babe, there is a situation where you've told your pastor,
yes,
right? And sometimes because pastors are pastors, they put you in a waiting mode. They'll be like, I'm praying, I'm also waiting on God, and then you have to like wait to see what pastor has to say, what you're supposed to do next. So the brother, what you do? Should you still go ahead to build a relationship with the brother, or you should just like?
I think at that point, you can always ask the pastor what he thinks you should do. Yeah, because they are shepherds, and they also have God has given them that jurisdiction to be able to give you instructions on how to do things. However, even if the pastor is not saying anything, you can just be friends. Can you just say, let your friendship persist?
Can you ask questions like, so brother, why are you singing lately? And do your hair like this.
I think that yeah, of course, that would be you jumping,
the gun.
Yeah, jumping the gun, or even shooting yourself in the foot. I think it's just keep the friendship as casual and as simple as possible. Yes. You really need to be very, very sensitive to ensuring that your emotions are not mixing up, because there are points where you get to, even when a verdict comes and it's a no, you will still
be able to detach.
You still want to keep persisting that maybe God can see otherwise in such a situation. So the best thing is just to keep it as simple as possible. Really guard your heart and ensure that you're not allowing your emotions to get into the way.
Last question. How do you guard your heart? Both the male and female counterpart.
Okay.
From letting your emotions come in.
It's
very difficult.
Yes. I think first of all, make sure that the conversations you're having as simple and as plain as possible. Try to avoid erotic discussions, like things like, what are you putting on right now? Those kind of stuff. Try to avoid such conversations, even when you're trying to, let the Holy Spirit really help you to build this relationship and this friendship. Yes. Once you lay your heart to Him that, Holy Spirit, I don't want to cross this line, I don't want to do this, He will guide you. Even when you're about to probably type the message as a brother, for instance, like, what are you putting on, or stuff like that. There's nothing wrong asking, like, how do you look like? Or probably she's going for an event and she took a picture and she shares with you, like, what do you think about this dress? Maybe that could be fine, but when you start going too much, like very, very sensual, I think you already, you start applying caution. So even at the point where you want to type the message or want to send it, the Holy Spirit reminds you and say, no, this is not you.
There's an alarm.
If you listen to that voice, you will definitely maybe just delete the message and say, no, I'm not going to do this. And that's how you apply caution. It might be difficult if you try to do it by your own self, or with willpower. You might struggle a lot, because you find yourself crossing the boundaries many times. But if you allow the Holy Spirit to help you, it would really guide you and ensure that you
something just came to my head I think we should talk about before we end the video, because time is fast spent. I'm just thinking about like many scenarios that are playing through my head about many guys, because I have lots of guy friends that have had these issues with, I'm in church setting, I've spoken to the girl, many girls have been saying no to me.
Okay.
Maybe they say we should pray, we have prayed, so what do you think might be wrong in a situation where girls are always saying no to me?
Well,
apart from village people, like sometimes it could be, in my own opinion, from saying things, it could be that the guys, they have issues with how they approach, manner of approach.
absolutely. In many ways, it's probably your manner of approach, your attitude, or your personality. Like you said, you don't just want to come off someone like a lion, like I like you, let us get things rolling and stuff like that. But it's a gradual process where you begin to get into the person's space gradually, and you begin to develop likeness. Even if things will not go further, you won't become enemies.
Or become resentful.
You will still have a very good, friendship and a good relationship where you can still share things that this is happening to me, or this is going, and things like that. So even if it doesn't proceed to the next phase, you wouldn't feel bad. And then even in some cases, some of these sisters can actually help you for subsequent person you meet.
Yeah, you're already you're gaining a work experience.
They can, even if it didn't really work out with the sister, for instance.
Because sometimes you're receiving radar. It actually quite happens, like most of the time, you're receiving radar from the Lord might switch. It might be a glitch that you think that you heard from the Lord, but you didn't hear from the Lord. Absolutely. And you go ahead to approach, and the sister says no. Or even people who heard from the Lord, sometimes sister can just say no. It does not mean that the sister.
Of course, it's a choice thing.
It's still a choice.
It's a free will thing that people still have to make a decision.
So even if you're approaching and then sisters are saying no, it doesn't mean that something's wrong with your spiritual walk.
Absolutely.
You need to also change your spiritual senses to be able to hear God. But even they are saying no, it might be two things. Your spiritual senses might be glitching, or your manner of approach might just be too wrong. For example, you can't come and meet me as a girl in church, like when I was still in Shango Ode, and come and say that I want to marry you. Let's just marry.
Yeah, I think that approach is.
I don't know.
It's too crude to use. I think the best thing, like we said from the beginning, is to establish friendship. And become friends with this person, and then take it up gradually like that. Everything that will last long.
Marriage in the lane. It is marriage.
Everything that will definitely last long definitely needs a time of building. It's like a building that wants to go so high. The foundation needs to go very deep. So you spend a lot of time working on the foundation, deepening the foundation and ensuring that the foundation is deep enough to able to withstand
the foundation of friendship.
Yes. To withstand whatever it is that is going to go so high. So if you don't really dig so deep, you might not be able to go too high. In that sense. So I think if you know this thing is for the long haul, then definitely you have to be able to.
And then even if the sister is giving you cold shoulder, doesn't want to talk to you, they'll say that, okay, I'm trying to build a friendship, but some sisters are just they're just there. There's everybody, my husband used to say something, everybody has what's that thing, the code? Can you call code?
Of course.
Everybody has a way you can get to know them. You just have to develop yourself as a guy, I would say, read books, self-help books. How to toast the day kind of thing. How to build. There's one book I read one time, how to talk to people and something. You can read books that can help your social life on how to build relationships.
Of course.
Most importantly, the Holy Spirit knows everything. It can also help you, so you don't be awkward around relationships. So
absolutely.
Because of time, we'll come back and shoot the rest. There's many things I have to talk. Thank you so much for watching. Please share with your single people, your singlets in this season, and subscribe. And like and share and make comments, interesting comments about what you think. Should the Christians start shooter? Should ladies move? Should we go and do ladies
That's
move?
the better way to say it.
Alright, thank you for watching. See you in our next video. Big say bye.
Thank you so much. Bye everyone.
I like that position because I could rub start getting honor. Oh, I honor you, my Lord. Why do I always do this only in public?
May the Lord honor you.
That's just hypocritical of me.
May the Lord honor you, sister.
But I honor you that way. I know they honor you.
Yeah.
Try my power.